Hello, and a very warm welcome to you. I'm so glad you found your way here to Elder Care Wisdom, a place where we explore gentle, kind, and effective ways to nurture our well-being at every beautiful stage of life. Today, we are going to share a story that feels like a warm, comforting hug. It's a story about a remarkable woman, the simple wisdom she lives by, and how too humble. Ingredients you might already have in your home can become powerful tools for self-care. This isn't about chasing youth or fighting against time. It's about embracing life with grace, kindness, and a return to simplicity. Our story begins with a woman named Maria. Maria is 85 years young, but when people meet her, they often find it hard to believe. Most guess her age to be somewhere in her early 60s. Now, you might be thinking of complex procedures or expensive treatments, but Maria's secret is something entirely different. No surgery, no high-priced creams or lotions, just two simple, natural things: castor oil and baking soda. While the world often chases the idea of youth in tiny bottles that can cost hundreds of dollars, Maria found her answer not in a fancy store, but right in her own kitchen cabinet. And perhaps the very best part of this story is that this isn't presented as a miracle cure or a magic potion. It is something much deeper and more lasting. It's a mindset. It's a calming ritual. It's a loving return to simplicity. And the most wonderful thing is that this gentle approach is something anyone can try, no matter your age or where you are in your life's journey. In our time together over the next few minutes, we will gently walk through Maria's exact daily routine. We will explore the real, gentle science behind why these simple ingredients can be so helpful, and we will talk about how you can easily start incorporating this caring practice into your own life, beginning today. So, let's properly meet Maria. She is 85 years old, but most people think she's in her early 60s. This isn't because she is desperately trying to look young. It is because she has quietly, gently, and very intentionally embraced a way of living that deeply nourishes her from the inside out. Her outer glow is simply a reflection of her inner peace and the consistent, loving care she gives to herself. Maria was born in the year 1940 in a small, beautiful village that seemed to be always bathed in sunlight. This village was nestled peacefully between ancient olive groves and vast, fragrant fields of lavender. Life there was simple, connected to the earth and its rhythms. Her mother and her grandmother before her used what they had readily available: healing herbs, nourishing oils, and time-tested, gentle rituals to care for their skin, their hair, and their overall health and well-being. But it's important to know that Maria's life hasn't always been completely serene and peaceful. Like all of us, she has faced her share of challenges and changes. When she reached her 50 seconds, she began to feel the natural weight of aging in a more noticeable way. She experienced drier skin, thinning hair, and a constant feeling of fatigue that she couldn't easily shake. And there was something else, something deeper than just the physical changes. A feeling that her inner spark, her vibrant energy, was slowly starting to fade. She remembers one morning, looking into her mirror and asking her reflection a heartfelt question: where did I go? This wasn't said with vanity, but with a sense of longing to reconnect with her vibrant self. Feeling determined not to quietly disappear, Maria began to look backward for guidance, not to chase her lost youth, but to reconnect with the strong, wise women who came before her, her grandmother and her mother. She remembered her grandmother's beautifully thick, strong braids. She recalled her mother's radiant, glowing skin, even as she aged. And most clearly, she remembered two simple things that were always present in their home: the little glass bottle that always sat on their vanity, which was filled with golden castor oil, and the small ceramic bowl of pure white baking soda that they used for almost everything, from cleaning the home to gently brushing their teeth, and even, on occasion, as a very gentle face scrub. Inspired by these warm memories, Maria decided to start small. She began with just a single drop of castor oil massaged into her skin each night before bed. Then, once a week, she would use a tiny pinch of baking soda mixed with water to create a paste to gently cleanse and brighten her complexion. There were no expensive products to buy, no complex procedures to learn. She simply used what she already had right there in her own kitchen. Over time, with patience and consistency, she began to notice beautiful changes. Her skin became noticeably softer and more supple. Her hair seemed to regain some of its former strength and shine. But most importantly of all, that inner spark, that feeling of joyful aliveness, began to return. This happened not because she suddenly looked decades younger, but because she felt truly seen and cared for by her own hands. She felt alive again, connected to her heritage and to herself. Today, Maria's self-care routine remains simple, sacred, and beautifully consistent. Her real secret, she will tell you, is not just the castor oil and the baking soda themselves, but the powerful belief that it is never, ever too late to start taking loving care of yourself. She believes that when you start loving the wonderful woman looking back at you, in the mirror again, your whole world begins to change in the most positive ways. So, you might be wondering, what is so truly special about castor oil and baking soda? Why would a smart, experienced woman in her 80s place her complete trust in? Two simple ingredients that you can find in almost any kitchen or local pharmacy? Let's explore each one gently and in detail. Let's start with castor oil. Castor oil comes from the seeds of the castor plant, which is scientifically known as Ditinus communis. This oil has a history of use that spans thousands of years. Yes, that's right. Even as far back as the times of ancient Egypt, it was valued for its many uses. It was used for everything from helping to heal wounds, to deeply moisturizing the skin, promoting healthy hair growth, and even helping to ease the discomfort of arthritis pain. But what exactly makes it work so well? The secret lies in its unique and powerful composition. Approximately 90% of castor oil is made up of a rare fatty acid called ricinoleic acid. This special acid is known for its strong anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and deeply moisturizing properties, which are especially beneficial for mature skin that needs extra nourishment. For skin that is experiencing the natural effects of aging, castor oil acts like a protective seal. It helps to lock in precious hydration, softens the appearance of fine lines, reduces dry, flakiness, and some believe it even supports the skin's natural collagen production. Many women, just like Maria, use it as a nightly facial massage oil. You just take a few drops, warm them gently between your fingers, and then softly press the oil into your clean skin. It's rich, it's thick, and it takes its time to absorb, encouraging you to slow down and take your time too, just as we should in our self-care rituals. Now, let's gently talk about the other half of Maria's beloved routine, baking soda. Baking soda, also known by its scientific name, sodium bicarbonate, is a humble white powder that has been used reliably since the 1800s for cooking, cleaning, and, you guessed it, gentle personal care. It is slightly alkaline in nature, which means it can help to neutralize acidity, absorb unwanted odors, and provide a gentle, effective cleanse. When used very sparingly and with great care, baking soda works as a mild physical exfoliant. This means it helps to gently remove dead skin cells from the surface, unclog pores, and brighten the overall complexion without the need for harsh, abrasive scrubbing. But here is the most important word to remember: sparingly. Because baking soda has a relatively high pH level, around 9, it can sometimes be drying or potentially irritating if it is used too often or too roughly. This is especially true for those with sensitive or mature skin that is more delicate. That is precisely why Maria only uses this part of her routine once a single time per week, and she always mixes the baking soda with a little water or soothing honey to create a very gentle paste. For her, it's not about scrubbing the skin aggressively. It's about awakening the skin gently. Think of it as a weekly reset button for your complexion. And she always, without fail, follows it with a moisturizer or a few drops of her beloved castor oil to rehydrate and calm the skin immediately afterward. When used together in this mindful way, castor oil and baking soda create a powerful yet beautifully simple skincare routine. One ingredient moisturizes deeply and protectively, while the other gently refreshes and revitalizes the skin's surface. Both are incredibly inexpensive, easy to find anywhere, and when used with attention and care, they are generally very safe for aging skin. In fact, recent scientific studies have begun to highlight castor oil's antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory effects, which supports its traditional use throughout history. And while baking soda isn't a high-tech, modern skin product, it is still studied for its effective cleaning and pH balancing properties. This isn't a miracle. It's not magic. It's simply a return to what has worked for generations. Practices grounded in nature, upheld by tradition, and blessed by the quiet wisdom of wonderful women like Maria. Because sometimes, the simplest things we can do for ourselves hold the very greatest power. Now that we understand what castor oil and baking soda are, let's gently discuss why they actually work from a biological and scientific perspective, not just from folklore or stories. As we age gracefully, several natural and inevitable changes happen to our skin. Our body's production of collagen, which is the protein that gives skin its structure and plumpness, slows down significantly. Elastin fibers, which allow our skin to snap back after stretching, begin to break down over time. And our skin naturally begins to produce less sebum, which is the natural oil that keeps it soft and supple. The combined result of these changes can be fine lines, dryness, sagging, and that dull sometimes papery texture that many of us begin to notice in our 50 seconds, 60 seconds, and beyond. This is exactly where a nourishing product like castor oil can come in to help. Dermatologists classify castor oil as an N-occlusive moisturizer. This means that when applied, it forms a protective barrier over the top layer of the skin. This barrier is wonderful because it traps water in the skin and prevents what is known as transepidermal water loss, which is a key culprit behind dry, aging skin. It's also a punny humectant, meaning it helps to draw moisture from the air into the skin, much like the popular ingredient hyaluronic acid does, but in a far more affordable and natural way. The ricinoleic acid in castor oil has been shown in studies to enhance skin hydration, reduce inflammation, and improve overall skin texture, as noted in publications like the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology. Additionally, castor oil has been studied for its natural antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties. This is particularly important for us to understand because as we age, even minor, unseen inflammation can accelerate the breakdown of collagen, a process sometimes called inflammaging. By helping to reduce inflammation, castor oil may actually help to preserve our existing collagen and slow down some of the visible signs of aging. Now, let's look at the role of baking soda. Our skin naturally sheds dead cells in a process that typically takes about 28 to 40 days. But as we get older, this natural process slows down considerably. Dead skin cells start to accumulate on the surface, making the skin look dull, uneven, and tired. Baking soda, when used very gently and infrequently, acts as a mild physical exfoliant. It helps to remove that outer layer of dead skin cells, revealing the fresher, brighter, and healthier skin that lies underneath. When done in small amounts and not too often, this gentle exfoliation promotes cell turnover and improves the absorption of other products. This means that the castor oil you apply afterward can sink in deeper and work much more effectively. However, and this is very important, baking soda must be used with caution and care. Your skin's surface has a natural protective barrier that is slightly acidic, usually around a pH of 5.5. This acid mantle protects you from bacteria and environmental damage and helps maintain a strong, healthy skin barrier. Baking soda is alkaline, with a pH of around 9, which can temporarily disrupt that protective acidic barrier if it is used too often or left on the skin for too long. That is why skin experts recommend using a baking soda treatment only, once a week at most, always mixing it with a soothing buffer like honey, yogurt, or aloe vera, and always following it immediately with a hydrating oil like castor oil to restore balance. When used in this careful and informed way, baking soda doesn't damage the skin. Instead, it gently revives it. The combination of gentle exfoliation followed by deep, intensive moisturization is one of the simplest yet most powerful routines you can establish for mature skin. What's truly interesting is that together, castor oil and baking soda mimic what many high-end skincare products often try to achieve, but without the high-cost, complex ingredient lists or potential for irritation. Science doesn't always have to be complicated. Sometimes, it simply confirms what wise women like Maria have known and practiced. For generations, that the body responds to consistent, gentle care. The skin responds to simplicity and aging when embraced with the right tools. And the right mindset can truly be a beautiful and graceful process. So, you might be asking, how does an 85-year-old woman with no cosmetic surgery, no expensive products, and no elaborate procedures look and feel like she's 60? It begins with establishing a rhythm, not just a routine, but a ritual. A slow, sacred daily rhythm that honors her skin, her spirit, and her entire body. Every single morning, Maria begins her day with warm water and a heart full of gratitude. She doesn't use harsh soaps first thing. Instead, she uses a soft, damp cloth and a few gentle splashes of water to awaken her skin and her senses. Then, while her skin is still slightly damp, she uses just 2 to 3 drops of castor oil. She always says the key is to press the oil in, not to rub it aggressively. This allows the castor oil to help seal in the water from her damp skin, keeping it soft, hydrated, and protected from the elements throughout the day. She finishes her morning ritual with a simple, clean breakfast, perhaps some oatmeal, fresh fruit, a cup of herbal tea, and she always carves out a few precious moments of complete stillness. This might be 10 minutes of comfortable silence, a short meditation, or sometimes just sitting and listening to the birds singing outside her window. This practice isn't about vanity. It's about cultivating energy and living with dignity and peace. In the evening, Maria cleanses her face again, this time a little more intentionally. If I've worn a little makeup or sunscreen, she says, I use a warm towel and a tiny bit of olive oil to gently lift it all away. Then comes her special weekly ritual, the part that was passed down directly from her grandmother. Once a week, usually on a calm Sunday evening, Maria prepares her gentle baking soda paste. She uses 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1 to 2 teaspoons of either water or raw soothing honey. Sometimes, for extra calming benefits, she might add a drop of cooled chamomile tea or a bit of fresh aloe vera gel. She applies this paste and leaves it on for no more than about 5 minutes, just enough time to gently lift away dullness and awaken the fresh, new skin underneath. Then, as always, she applies a thin layer of castor oil to replenish moisture and calm and support the skin's barrier. It's not about looking young, she explains. It's about feeling clean, feeling cared for, and feeling complete. Beyond her use of castor oil and baking soda, Maria practices what she lovingly calls gentle discipline. This means she incorporates daily gentle stretching into her life, drinks plenty of water throughout the day, consciously, avoids unnecessary drama and stress, makes time to laugh often, and spends quiet time in sunlight and silence. She firmly believes that no cream or serum in the world can ever replace the profound power of calm, joyful living. Your skin reflects your spirit, she says wisely. If you're tense and worried, your face will show that tension. If you are kind and gentle with yourself, your skin will soften too. Maria doesn't chase youth. She nurtures herself with the same patience and care one would give to an old, cherished garden, with presence, patience, and a little bit of castor oil. It sounds almost too simple to be true, doesn't it? A common kitchen staple like castor oil, paired with the humble baking soda. And somehow, they seem to hold a secret to aging gracefully. We hear you. We really do. In a world that is so full of overhyped miracle creams and viral trends that come and go, it is completely natural and even wise to feel a sense of skepticism. So, let's break this down together carefully, honestly, and answer the big question so many are quietly asking, is this for real? Can castor oil really make a visible difference? Castor oil is one of the richest natural sources of ricinoleic acid, a unique fatty acid that is both anti-inflammatory and deeply moisturizing. It has been used for centuries to soothe skin irritations, help stimulate collagen production, and support the body's natural wound healing processes. It doesn't perform miracles overnight. Nothing truly does. But with consistent, patient use, it supports a stronger, more supple skin barrier. This is especially beneficial for mature skin, which naturally loses its own oils as we age. 2. Is baking soda actually safe for your face? Now, this is where extra caution and care truly matter. Baking soda, on its own, is alkaline, which means it can disrupt your skin's natural acidity if it is overused. But that doesn't automatically make it dangerous, it makes it powerful, and that power requires respect and careful handling. Use no more than once a week and always combined with soothing, calming agents like honey, aloe, or chamomile tea. Baking soda becomes a mild exfoliant that helps lift away dead skin and brighten the complexion without stripping it bare. The absolute key is tanten moderation. Think of it as a gentle polishing cloth for your skin, not a rough scrub brush. 3. Isn't this just another old wives' tale? That's a great question, and in a way, yes, it is. But here's the beautiful thing. Many of those so-called old wives were incredibly wise. They lived without access to luxury brands or dermatology clinics. They observed, they experimented, and they passed down what worked, safely, affordably, and sustainably. Today, modern science is often catching up with these traditions. We now understand that simpler, gentler routines can often protect the skin's health better than aggressive, multi-step product lines that can sometimes cause more harm than good. So yes, it is a folk remedy, but it's also a practice backed by common sense and a growing body of scientific understanding in a world that has sadly forgotten how to be truly gentle with itself. 4. Will this clog my pores? Castor oil is actually considered non-comedogenic for most people, which is a technical term that means it is unlikely to clog pores when used in small amounts on clean skin. However, it is so important to remember that every person's skin is beautifully unique and different. The best approach is to start very slow. Perform a patch test as we described, and see how your own skin responds over a few weeks. 5. What if I have sensitive skin or a condition like rosacea? If you have sensitive skin, rosacea, or any other chronic skin condition, please be extra gentle. You might want to skip the baking soda part of the routine entirely. Instead, stick with using castor oil and consider diluting it with another very calming oil like jojoba oil or chamomile-infused oil. And always consult with your dermatologist or healthcare provider before starting any new skincare routine, especially if you have known skin concerns. 6. How long does it take to see results? Please set realistic expectations. You should allow for about 30 to 60 days of consistent, patient use before you might notice real, visible changes. This is not designed to be a quick fix. It is a nurturing, long-term practice of self-care. Skepticism is healthy. It protects us from being fooled. But sometimes, it can also keep us from rediscovering what is simple, true, and profoundly effective. This isn't about magic. It's about nourishment. It's about slowing down just enough to touch your own face with kindness, and maybe, just maybe, watching it respond with gratitude. Our skin remembers everything, including how we choose to treat it today. Be curious, be cautious, but please don't be afraid to try something your own grandmother might have sworn by, especially if it costs less than a cup of coffee and brings you closer to yourself and your heritage. By now, you may be feeling curious, maybe even a little excited to try this gentle routine for yourself. But like anything we choose to apply to our skin, especially mature skin, safety and simplicity must always come first. So, here is your gentle, easy-to-follow roadmap, a complete guide to starting your own castor oil and baking soda skincare ritual. There will be no guesswork, no rush, just a calm, confident beginning. Step 1. Choose the right castor oil. Not all castor oils are created equal. For skincare, always choose cold pressed. This method preserves the precious nutrients. Hexane-free. This ensures no harsh chemical solvents were used. Sun organic. This is especially important if you have sensitive skin to avoid pesticides. Avoid .NA products that have added fragrances, preservatives, or artificial coloring. Your skin deserves only the purest, simplest ingredients. Step 2. The patch test is a must. Before you begin using it on your face, please perform a patch test. Apply a tiny amount of castor oil to the inside of your forearm or behind your ear. Wait a full 24 hours. If there is no itching, redness, or rash, you are most likely good to go. You can do the same with the baking soda paste when you are ready to try it. Step 3. Start with a nighttime ritual. Begin by using castor oil just once a day, at night. Why? Because our skin does most of its repair work while we are sleeping, and the oil will have plenty of quiet, undisturbed time to work its gentle magic. How to apply castor oil to your face. 1. Wash your face gently with lukewarm water and a very mild, gentle cleanser. 2. Pat your skin dry gently with a soft towel, leaving it slightly damp. 3. Place 2 to 4 drops of castor oil in the palm of your hand. 4. Warm it slightly by rubbing your palms together. 5. Press the oil gently into your skin, on your cheeks, forehead, around your mouth, and under your eyes. Avoid the immediate eye area. 6. Let it absorb overnight. There's no need to rinse it off. 7. A slightly sticky feeling is normal and will fade. Within a few days, your skin may start to feel more supple and hydrated. Here is a beginner-friendly plan for your first week with castor oil. In days 1 to 3, just apply the oil at night to clean, damp skin. In days 4 to 5, try adding a single drop to your lips or your cuticles. See how your body responds. Days 6 to 7, begin observing. Does your skin feel softer, less dry? Don't look for drastic changes. Just practice gentle care and listen closely to what your body is telling you. To introduce baking soda only later, and only if your skin tolerates the oil well. Use this no more than once a week. How to prepare a gentle exfoliating paste. Simple DIY baking soda face scrub. 1 teaspoon baking soda. 1 teaspoon honey, or plain yogurt, or aloe vera gel. Optional. A few drops of warm chamomile tea for extra calming. And mix these together gently into a soft paste. How to use it safely. 1. Apply the paste to your damp face using 2 fingers. Massage it in using very slow, gentle circular motions for no more than 30 seconds. And rinse thoroughly with plenty of lukewarm water. Pat your skin dry and immediately apply a few drops of castor oil to replenish moisture and calm the skin. If your skin feels tight, red, or irritated afterward, back off and give it more time. Your skin will tell you what it needs. Remember, skincare doesn't need to feel clinical or rushed. Let this become a ritual, a quiet daily act of love for yourself. You can pair it with a few deep breaths, a moment of gratitude for your body, or a gentle bedtime stretch. That's when true beauty becomes something more. Not just what's on your face, but what you give to your spirit. Let's quickly go over a few important do's and don'ts before you begin. 2. 1. Do a patch test for both castor oil and baking soda. 1. Use clean fingers or clean tools to apply your products. And store your castor oil in a cool, dark place to keep it fresh. 1. Stop immediately if any irritation occurs. Don't. 1. Don't use baking soda more than once a week. Don't use these ingredients on open wounds or broken skin. Don't expect overnight, miraculous results. This practice isn't about turning back the hands of time. It's about respecting the time your skin has traveled through. It's about giving it just 2 simple ingredients and the patience to let them work gently, day by day. No surgery, no filters, just touch, trust, and time. Begin right where you are. Use what you have. Love the wonderful person you see in the mirror. As we come to the close of our journey together today, it's so important to remember that the story we tell ourselves about aging is far more powerful than any skincare routine could ever be. Castor oil and baking soda may help to nourish your skin. They may soften the appearance of fine lines or brighten your complexion. But the true, lasting secret to looking and feeling youthful isn't just about what we put on our skin. It's about how we choose to live our lives each day. It's about how we embrace every single chapter of our lives with grace, curiosity, and unwavering kindness toward ourselves and others. Aging is not a loss, it is a continuous transformation, like a strong, beautiful tree that grows deeper and more meaningful roots with. Every passing season, we grow richer in wisdom, strength, and compassion. Yes, our bodies change. Our skin tells our story. Stories of laughter, tears, love, and incredible resilience. And that is truly beautiful. Graceful aging is about honoring those stories, not hiding them away. It starts with how we speak to ourselves and what we choose to see when we look in the mirror. Instead of focusing on fixing every wrinkle, what if we focused on appreciating the strength and experience behind each one? What if every line was a gentle reminder of a life fully lived, loved, and experienced? True beauty blossoms from within when we treat ourselves with the same kindness and gentle care we've so often given to others all our lives. Aging gracefully means finding joy and purpose in every new day. It's saying a joyful yes to new experiences and a peaceful no. Thank you when we need rest. It's pursuing passions that perhaps we set aside for a while. It's building and nurturing friendships that feed our souls. Your age does not define your dreams, and it certainly does not define your worth. Skincare is one part of caring for yourself, but it is only one part. Our emotional health, gentle physical movement, mental stimulation, and loving connection with others, these are the true, enduring pillars of radiant aging at any age. A routine like using castor oil and baking soda can be a beautiful ritual of self-care. But the most important ritual of all is learning to love and accept who you are, exactly as you are in this very moment. So, as you consider this simple secret, please remember that it is just one small step on a much larger, beautiful path. Embrace your skin. Embrace your unique story. Embrace your age. Because growing older is not about losing youth, it is about gaining freedom. The glorious freedom to be yourself more fully and more beautifully than ever before. Thank you so much for spending this precious time with us here on Elder Care Wisdom. We hope you feel inspired, not only to try these simple, natural steps, but more importantly, to embrace your own innate beauty and wisdom at every single age. If you found value and comfort in this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps us reach more wonderful people like you who are on this journey of aging gracefully. We would absolutely love to hear from you. Share your own stories, your questions, or your thoughts in the comments below. Have you tried castor oil or other natural remedies before? What is your favorite self-care ritual? Let's create a community of sharing and support. And don't forget to subscribe to Elder Care Wisdom and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos, which are full of honest, uplifting, and practical tips for vibrant, joyful living after 60. Remember, aging gracefully is a gift you give to yourself every single day, and there is no better time to start than today. Aging gracefully is a gift you give to yourself every single day, and there is no better time to start than today.